Welcome back to Talk Tickers, where we take those earnings calls and break them down so you don't have to.
That's right.
Today, we're going to dive deep into Karyopharm Therapeutics.
Ticker symbol KPTI.
They are making some serious waves in the world of cancer treatment.
Big time.
And after listening to their latest call, I got to tell you, there's a lot to unpack here.
There is. So
what I think is really interesting is how Karyopharm is sort of evolving. You know, they're known for Xpovio, a treatment for multiple myeloma, but they're using that expertise in something called selective inhibitor of nuclear export. Or SINE technology.
SINE technology.
To target other cancers.
So for our listeners who aren't familiar with SINE technology, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, so think of it this way. Imagine a cell as a bustling city. And for the city to function, information needs to flow in and out of the city center, right? Makes sense.
In a cell, that city center is the nucleus. And SIN technology disrupts the flow of information, specifically in cancer cells, which ultimately stops them from growing and spreading.
So it's like a targeted shutdown.
It is. It is.
Of the cancer cell's communication system.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got it.
And Karyopharm is the leader, the innovator in oral SIN technology, headquartered in Newton, Massachusetts. But their reach is global, so they have subsidiaries in Europe and Israel. So they've really established themselves as the front runners in this field.
That's impressive. Okay, so let's get into the heart of this earnings call. What were some of the major takeaways?
Well, the big news is Karyopharm just reported its third consecutive quarter of revenue growth.
Wow.
And that is a really strong signal in the pharmaceutical industry.
Absolutely. Consistent growth is what investors want to see. What were the numbers looking like?
So their Q3 revenue hit $38.8 million. Up from $36 million in Q3 2023. And what's driving a lot of that is their U.S. Xpovio revenue, which reached $29.5 million this quarter. It's becoming the go-to treatment, particularly in community settings where patients and doctors appreciate the convenience of an oral medication.
Convenience is a big factor, especially when you're dealing with the challenges of cancer treatment.
Absolutely.
So what's Karyopharm's outlook for the rest of the year?
They're expecting continued growth. And they're actually on track to hit the upper range of their revenue guidance for the year.
Nice.
So between 110 to 115 million in U.S. Xpovio net product revenue. And overall 145 to 155 million total revenue. That's a pretty significant jump. It is.
What's contributing to that positive outlook?
A lot of it is coming from the international markets.
They
secured reimbursement approvals for Xpovio.
In Italy and France.
Makes sense.
Which opens up a whole new patient base.
Smart move. Expand that global footprint.
For sure.
But now let's talk about what really has Wall Street buzzing. Karyopharm's push into the myelofibrosis treatment landscape. For listeners who aren't familiar. Can you give us a quick rundown of what myelofibrosis is and why this is such a big deal?
Myelofibrosis is a type of bone marrow cancer that disrupts the body's ability to produce healthy blood cells. It's a serious condition. And current treatment options are limited.
Got it.
That's where Karyopharm comes in. They're currently running a phase 3 trial. It's called Century, exploring the use of selinexor, their SINE technology drug, in combination with ruxolitinib, which is the current standard of care.
So they're testing selinexor as part of a combination therapy approach. Why is that significant?
Well, less than half of all patients
achieve a significant reduction in their enlarged spleen, which is a major symptom with ruxolitinib alone. Karyopharm is aiming to change that.
Got it.
Early data suggests that combining selinexor with ruxolitinib could lead to much better outcomes for patients.
That's incredibly promising.
It is.
Now, I noticed in my notes that Karyopharm made a change to a key endpoint.
They did, yes.
In the Century trial. Can you explain what happened? And what it means for the trial's potential success?
So initially, they were measuring something called TS50. But after discussions with the FDA, they switched to measuring absolute total symptom score, or TSS.
TSS,
Now, this might sound concerning at first, but it's actually a positive move.
How so?
Well, it means the trial is now more likely to show clear, statistically significant results.
Okay.
And perhaps more importantly, it reflects a shift toward a more holistic assessment of how the treatment's impacting patients' quality of life.
So they're not just looking at whether the spleen shrinks, they're looking at the bigger picture of how patients are feeling overall.
Exactly.
What kind of improvements have they seen in the trials so far?
The results have been very encouraging.
Okay, good.
In phase 1 trials, nearly 80% of patients saw a 35% reduction in spleen size at week 24.
Okay.
And what's even more promising is that those patients continued to respond, suggesting lasting benefits.
That's remarkable. What about symptom relief?
Yeah.
Did patients report feeling better?
Yes, and this is key.
Yeah.
Patients reported significant relief from their symptoms as early as week 4.
Okay.
And this improvement continued throughout the entire 24-week trial.
Right.
Of course, we have to acknowledge the potential side effects.
Sure.
The most common are gastrointestinal, mainly nausea.
Okay.
But physicians are saying these side effects are mostly seen at the beginning of treatment, last for about 2 cycles, and can be managed with anti-nausea medication.
So manageable side effects and potentially game-changing results.
Yeah.
I can see why this trial has everyone on Wall Street paying attention.
Absolutely. If Sentry proves successful, selinexor could become a new standard of care in myelofibrosis.
Right.
Imagine a convenient once-weekly oral treatment.
Wow.
For this debilitating disease.
Yeah.
Market potential for Karyopharm is enormous.
Give us an idea of just how big this market could be.
They're estimating a peak annual revenue opportunity of $1 billion in the U.S. alone.
Wow. That's a staggering number.
It is.
Okay, so they're making waves in the treatment of multiple myeloma.
Yeah.
They're potentially revolutionizing myelofibrosis treatment.
Right.
But it doesn't stop there.
Nope.
They're also exploring selinexor as a treatment for endometrial cancer.
They are.
And once again, they're focusing on a specific niche.
Right.
Patients with TP53 wild-type endometrial cancer.
Yes.
Which represents about half of all cases.
Right. Just so everyone's clear.
Yeah.
What is endometrial cancer?
Endometrial cancer is the most common gynecologic cancer in the U.S., with projections estimating around 17,000 new cases in 2032.
All right. And what are the trial results looking like for selinexor in this area?
Well, the SINE trial has shown some very promising results.
Okay.
Particularly for patients with both TP53 wild-type and MMR-proficient tumors.
Okay.
In the subgroup, selinexor achieved a median progression-free survival of 39.5 months.
Okay.
Which is actually longer than the overall survival achieved by the current standard treatments.
So to be clear, that means these patients lived for an average of over 3 years without their cancer worsening.
Precisely.
That's a significant improvement.
It is.
And it's why they've now launched a pivotal phase 3 trial called EC042, which is on track to release its top-line data in early 2026.
That's right.
If that data is positive,
we could be looking at another blockbuster treatment.
We could?
From Karyopharm.
Yes.
And we've already established that blockbuster translates to
another potential $1 billion peak annual revenue opportunity.
Right. Another $1 billion
in the U.S. market
opportunity.
Yeah.
So Karyopharm is definitely one to watch in the coming years.
For sure.
It sounds like they have a lot going on beyond just Xpovio.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, were there any other key developments?
Let me see.
From the earnings call?
Yeah.
We should cover.
There was one leadership change.
Okay.
Mike Mason, their CFO, is stepping down.
Okay.
He's been a vital part of the company's success.
Right.
But his departure doesn't seem to be impacting their financial stability.
Okay.
They emphasize their commitment to disciplined cost management.
Right.
And they've already taken steps to reduce expenses. They're projecting their cash runway. Basically, the amount of time they can operate with their current funds to extend into Q1 of 2026.
Okay.
Which will cover all their planned operations and those crucial milestones we've been talking about.
So financially,
they
seem to be in a strong position to move forward with these potentially groundbreaking treatments.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take a quick break.
Okay, sounds good.
And when we come back, we'll have our this is not financial advice segment.
All right.
Where we'll throw out a completely hypothetical, outrageous but plausible trade idea based on what we've learned about Karyopharm today.
Looking forward to it.
Stick around.
All right.
All right. Welcome back to Talk Tickers. It's time for everyone's favorite segment.
I know, right?
This is not financial advice, where we take everything we learned about a company and just for fun, we cook up a completely speculative trade idea. As always, this is purely hypothetical.
Of course.
And for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors.
Right. This is all just a bit of fun. Don't base any investment decisions on what we're saying here. Do your own research. Talk to a professional.
Always good to emphasize that. Okay, so with all that said, let's get those creative juices flowing. What's our outrageous but plausible Karyopharm trade idea?
All right, so picture this. KPTI stock, it dipped today, closed at $0.85 after a 9.36% drop.
Ouch. Not a good day for current shareholders. What do you think spooked investors?
You know, my guess is some short-term thinkers might be overlooking the long-term potential here. That's where our speculative opportunity comes in.
Interesting. You're thinking this dip could be a buying opportunity for those with a longer time horizon.
It might be. Now, remember, this is all hypothetical, but what if, and this is a big what if, both Karyopharm's phase 3 trials for myelofibrosis and endometrial cancer are wildly successful?
Okay, I'm following. Successful trials lead to potential FDA approvals, which could mean
blockbuster treatments, happy patients, and potentially very happy investors. Remember, we're talking about a $1 billion peak revenue opportunity in each of those markets. If those trials hit their mark, that stock price could see a significant rebound.
I like where this is going. So the idea is to buy low now while some investors are shying away and potentially reap the rewards if those trials deliver.
Exactly. High risk, high reward. But again, pure speculation. We're just playing around with ideas here.
Right. Investing always comes with risk, and there are never any guarantees. But it's fun to imagine those what-if scenarios.
Absolutely. That's what makes the stock market so fascinating.
All right. So to recap, Karyopharm had a strong Q3 performance. They're projecting solid growth, and they're leading the charge in SINE technology with potential game-changing treatments on the horizon. They're definitely a company worth watching, even if you decide not to buy the stock.
Couldn't agree more. Karyopharm is making incredible strides in cancer treatment, and it'll be exciting to see how their story unfolds.
Well, thanks for joining us on Talk Tickers today as we took a deep dive into Karyopharm Therapeutics.
Yeah.
If you're interested in following their progress, you can check out KPTI on financial news websites and stay up to date on all the latest developments.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on those trial results.
Yeah.
Those will be major catalysts for the stock.
And of course, as always, we have to remind everyone,
this is not financial advice.
You know it. We're just two passionate individuals who love digging into the complexities of the market and sharing what we find with you.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy investing, everyone.
See ya!